4 Democrats got denied meeting with Abrego Garcia after flying all the way to El Salvador. So, of course, there was that one senator, Van Hollen. He flew to El Salvador. And I do believe initially he did get denied meeting with Abrego Garcia. And then somehow he was able to pull it off where he did get a meeting with the guy. And now I guess these other Democrats are getting jealous because this senator is getting to meet with, the famous MS-13 illegal gang members. These are the favorite types of people of the Democrat Party. So now they want in on a piece of the action. They saw the buzz this created, and they decided they want to create some buzz as well. And no, to be perfectly honest, I don't completely understand this playbook of the Democrat Party here. I don't get how they think this makes them look good. But I think what I'm seeing on the Democrat side now is they're taking this route where they are trying to spotlight this due process thing, and they're trying to take the spotlight off of the fact, of course, and this is really the main detail in this whole situation, the fact that Abrego Garcia is a confirmed illegal alien and a confirmed MS-13 gang member. They realize that them sticking up for this guy really is not making them look good at all. So they're trying to be like, well, we're just worried about due process. That's what we're worried about. We're worried about due process because if Donald Trump can do it to an illegal alien MS-13 gang member, he could do it to your great grandmother. And, they could have a point, except for this guy is illegal and a gang member. And also, you would think that there would be better cases to spotlight due process than an illegal alien MS-13 gang member. You would think that if they really cared about due process, but they really don't care about due process. What they care about is getting Trump, because this is somehow, of course, attached to Trump's administration because he deported this guy. So first, they're trying to make it about Abrego Garcia himself, and they're trying to paint this rosy picture of the guy. Of course, that was not real. When that backfired, now they're just trying to spotlight due process. And, they should have known that this was going to backfire on them because Donald Trump literally got elected on deporting illegal aliens, closing the border, deporting illegal immigrants. That's what he got deported on. Not deported. That's what he got elected on overwhelmingly. So I don't know who thought this was a good idea to start kind of harping on this one issue. But this is what's going on. El Salvador just denied Democrats from meeting with MS-13 gang member because they didn't travel to the country in an official capacity. So, what's really funny? So Van Hollen, he got roasted for traveling all the way to El Salvador on the taxpayer dime, right? People were rightfully angry. Like, why are you going to El Salvador on the taxpayer dime? I mean, it probably cost, a fair bit of money to fly out there. And you're going there to meet with a citizen of El Salvador who you claim is a constituent of Maryland. And you did this on the taxpayer dime. What is up with this? Of course, it's just all politics. So he got a lot of flack for that. Now, I guess these 4 Democratic lawmakers saw this and they're like, you know what? We're going to fly there on our own dime, or maybe, I don't know if it's their own. It's probably not their own dime. It's probably some nonprofit or something paying for it. I don't know. And because they did it that way, I guess now they can't meet with the guy. 4 Democrat lawmakers traveled to El Salvador in an effort to release alleged MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was deported by the Trump administration last month, only to be denied the ability to meet with Abrego Garcia by the local government, which cited that the trip was not officially approved. Representatives Robert Garcia, that joker, Maxwell Frost, Yassamin Ansari, and Maxine Dexter all traveled to El Salvador on Monday morning, according to Axios. House Oversight Chairman James Comer wrote on X that El Salvador refused to meet with the 4 Democratic lawmakers after their arrival. So here is James Comer here. This is him talking about this whole embarrassing situation that just keeps getting worse for the Democrats. Let's take a look at this here.
You also, as chairman, have some duties and responsibilities, and that is signing off on travel for members of Congress who maybe want to go to El Salvador to meet with people who have been deported. What's your take on this? What are you going to do with this?
Well, I had 2 members of the House Oversight Committee, Garcia from California and Frost from Florida, and they sat there silent during the entire Biden investigation, during the entire investigation of Border Patrol and Mayorkas that we had in the Oversight Committee. If anything, they were obstructive. They weren't concerned. They showed no concern for the lack of our national security or the violation of our southern border security laws. But then this one person that the liberal media picked up on that was deported to El Salvador, they went crazy before it came out that he was actually an MS-13 gang member, and they wanted me to authorize funding at my committee's expense to send them down to El Salvador and meet with this person for a photo op and to have margaritas and, enjoy the sunny weather.
So, I mean, it's really funny. So they all went crazy about this situation before they knew all of the facts because they were just chomping at the bit. They were chomping at the bit so hard to get Trump. I mean, what do they have? I mean, their approval ratings are at 25%. I mean, I've said this every time I see this number. I think it's lower than that, but 25% is bad. So they, went all crazy, and then it came out, hey, this guy is an MS-13 gang member, and not only that, he's been confirmed being an MS-13 gang member. I think 3 times, and one of them was it was a document from the Maryland some Maryland gang unit, police gang unit that. In the report, it talks about him being an MS-13 gang member. But this goes through what Comer said. And this is Maxwell Frost. This is him lamenting the fact that his trip was denied. He's none too happy about this whole situation. Let's take a look at Maxwell Frost here and see what he has to say.
What do you know? Is there any chance you'll be meeting with Abrego Garcia while you're there?
Well, we're actually about to do a press conference to speak a little bit about this, but we got word at the embassy that our request has been denied by the government here locally. They say it's because we're not here on an official capacity. This is part of the reason why Representative Robert Garcia and I sent a letter to Chairman Kilmar of the Oversight Committee asking for this to be an official CODEL. But we're not giving up.
Why are you doing this? No, really. Why? You guys, I mean, look at yourselves. Take a long, hard look at yourselves in a mirror or when you're walking past a giant glass window that reflects, okay? Take a long, hard look at yourself, bro. You flew from the United States where your constituents are at, okay, to El Salvador where your constituents are not, to try to get a El Salvadorian person, an El Salvadorian resident, released from prison. Not only that, but this El Salvadorian person was an illegal alien in the United States that was deported, and he's an MS-13 gang member. Take a look at yourself. What is going on? Has all common sense been stripped from people on the Democrat Party and some on the Republican Party? Because every time I go after I have to add in there. It is not just isolated to the Democrat Party. This BS way of thinking, it's totally insane. It's all to try to score these political points, and then they bite off more than they can chew, and they cannot stop. They have to keep going. They have to keep going and try to find a way to turn it around, and they're just not stopping.
More meetings scheduled for the rest of the day. But part of this, too, is making sure that we keep the conversation alive. We're building off of the trip of Senator Van Hollen, and we're not the first members here, and we're not going to be the last.
Something tells me that they after some time, they're kind of going to want this to just be forgotten. I mean, I can already see this this conversation starting to fade and be forgotten because I see a lot of these people on Twitter, representatives, senators. They start talking about how they're trying to highlight this due process issue. Well, that wasn't what you guys were highlighting just last week. You guys were highlighting how he was a great father and all these other things. But now it's like, forget that he's an MS-13 gang member. Forget that he was illegal. We're worried about due process. And if Donald Trump can do this to an MS-13 illegal gang member, he can do this to anyone. So that's why I don't think this is going to last very much longer. I think these politicians here flying over there, I mean, they kind of did so in vain. I'm not really sure what they even thought they were going to accomplish, but I don't think that really matters to the Democrats anymore because they don't have anything to go after Donald Trump on. They really don't. There's probably, other things that they could, but these are just not things that the voters care about or their voters care about. And it's just mind-boggling. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about these Democrats being denied meeting with Abrego Garcia? Do you think they're going to find another way in there like Senator Van Hollen did? What do you think is going to happen with Abrego Garcia? I mean, this guy, he must feel like he's I don't know what he feels like. I do know that his wife is really loving the spotlight, even after testifying that her husband beat her and all these other things. Now she's posting TikToks and Instagrams and all these other things saying how she just can't wait till her husband comes home. She misses him so much. He is now the love of her life. And that's funny. He's just the one. She's always been smitten by him. It's just great. But let me know what you guys think of all this. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.